Hey, what's up guys? Back again with another What I Eat in a Day, and I start off every day as I always do with a nice cool glass of lemon water. For breakfast today, I was feeling a little bit lazy, so I just had a simple breakfast of an orange cut into wedge slices as you're seeing here. If you don't like oranges, or you don't like them cut in wedge slices, don't do that. Do whatever you want. Just eat more fruit, guys. It's good for you. On my bagel, I put some Earth Balance vegan butter, as you are about to see. Yep, that's it right there. It tastes just like butter, only you have the added bonus of not harming animals. It's fantastic. So I spread that generously, as you can see, on my bagel. And then I top it off with some toasted sesame seeds that I get from Costco, but I'm sure you could find them at any grocery store. Just adds a nice little bit of texture and flavor. It's not overwhelming, it's pretty subtle, but I like it, and if you've never tried it, why not give it a go? And now we are moving on to lunch. For lunch, I had a salad. Here's what I put in it, and these bacon pieces that I'm showing you are actually accidentally vegan and don't contain any meat or animal products. Win-win. These are hemp hearts that I put on top of my salad. They're amazing. They're really good for you, high in omega-3 and 6. I also added some quinoa to the salad just for a little substance and extra protein. This is the quinoa that I use. It's really good. Get it from Costco. To assemble my salad, I've got my red lettuce and my romaine lettuce, about a half a head each, which I then just roughly chop up. And then I add in all my other veggies. Again, guys, it's a freaking salad. You can add whatever you want. Don't like red cabbage? Don't add red cabbage. You like onions? Add onions. You love mushrooms? Add some of those. I added in a whole carrot because I love carrots. If you don't like carrots, don't add those. It's whatever you want. That's the beauty of a salad. It's totally customizable to whatever you want. Now, I don't like traditional salad dressings. I just find them to be too intense of a flavor. So what I like to do is take an avocado, cut it in half, and I mash up one side so it's really creamy and nice, and then I just plop that on the salad, and as I'm eating it, I'll mix that around as my dressing. Then I added in about a handful of the bacon bits, and then a cup or so of the quinoa, and about 2 tablespoons of the hemp hearts. And there is my salad. It was super filling, super delicious, awesome. Perfect lunch. If you're someone that likes croutons, I'll also sometimes add these. They're one of the only vegan croutons I've found readily available. For dinner, I have decided to follow a recipe by one of my favorite blogs, Minimalist Baker, and this is her pesto spaghetti squash. So here's all the ingredients you need, and I will link the actual recipe below because, let's be honest, I'm not going to get into all that right now. But yeah, you just need a spaghetti squash, which you cut in half, and then you need a spoon or an ice cream scoop, and just like you would with a pumpkin at Halloween, just scrape out all the innards. And then you're going to want to brush it lightly with some olive oil and sprinkle it with a bit of salt and black pepper. Once you've done that, you're just going to want to take a greased baking sheet, which you can also line with tinfoil if you so feel, and put the squash upside down on that and put that in the oven at 400 for 45 minutes. And while that is cooking, you can make your basil pesto. The recipe calls for about 2 cups of fresh basil. I usually buy just a little windowsill basil plant from my local grocery store, and that provides me with enough basil. Once you have your basil in your food processor, you're going to want to add your soaked cashews and then your sun-dried tomatoes. If they are in oil as mine were, you're going to want to blot them off before adding them. And then I added in my walnuts or pine nuts, depending on what you decided to use. After that, you're going to want to add in your garlic. I used powdered garlic because that's what I had, but fresh garlic does work better. Next up is nutritional yeast, or nooch, as many vegans will call it. It's really nice, flaky, kind of cheesy flavor. It's really good. So you add about 2 tablespoons of that, and then a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and then you are ready to blend. And as you're blending it, you're going to want to dump in your 1/4 cup of olive oil just to get everything really nice and emulsified. And afterwards, this is what you come out with. It looks like poop right now based on my kitchen lighting, but it actually is really, really good. Take my word for it. This is what your squash will look like after it comes out of the oven. And to get your spaghetti, you're just going to take a fork and slowly drag it along the squash, and it will come up in strings, just like normal spaghetti. So here is the squash plated, and here is me trying to one-handedly put the basil pesto on the squash before realizing that that's impossible with one hand. So after you cook your squash, you are going to add about, I don't know, a cup or so of the basil pesto on your squash. It really depends on how much basil pesto you want. And then you are ready for toppings. On our basil pesto, I have two here because I also made one for my husband, obviously. We used some crushed red pepper. And then I also added some homemade vegan Parmesan, which is made from cashews, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. It's really good. And then finally, to top it off, I just have some chopped up walnuts, which again can also be replaced with pine nuts. And I will say that the pine nuts do have a better flavor, but it's not like anything ridiculous. Just pine nuts are kind of expensive, so if you have walnuts, use walnuts. And that was my dinner. I ended up eating that while we hung out in bed and watched Workaholics. A hilarious show. So yeah, that's what I ate in a day. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you subscribe if you're new. I upload every Thursday, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!